Rory Kelsch, I call her Kelshi, she's had around 30 jobs, including cheesemonger, tour guide, and building superintendent. Her favorite job was receptionist for the New York Studio School of Drawing, Painting, and Sculpture. She's made a living as a writer, but she's only published on CD-ROMs, which she now uses as coasters. Rory Kelsch.
Wait, you said what? I could tell my Aunt Ro was losing her patience with me. I had been crying all morning long and was still in my pajamas, because kids know. Kids, dogs, and cats, they always know when something's wrong. But we had to get going. It was my last day of 4th grade, of grammar school, and I was going to give a speech, which I wrote myself, and my family was so proud of me, especially my Aunt Ro. She loved me, and she wasn't going to let anything stand in the way of my big moment, not even the truth. So she looked me square in the eye and lied right to my face. I said Uncle Paul is going to be fine. He broke his leg, that's all. Last night, he had an accident on that damn bike, and he broke his leg. I looked over at my mom, who was standing beside her sister. She had this blank look on her face. The buttons on her Anne Klein blouse were all off track, and she forgot to put on lipstick. My mother always has lipstick on. Aunt Ro persisted in curt detail about their baby brother. He's in the hospital, they're taking good care of him, and he's going to be fine. Now go get dressed. You have a big day today. The truth was, my Uncle Paul, a superhero as far as I was concerned, was in an accident the night before. He crashed that damn bike, a 1979 Honda Goldwing Custom. But he wasn't in the hospital with a broken leg. He was across town at a funeral home with a broken neck, and he wasn't going to be fine, and he wasn't going to be at my graduation. He was my grandparents' change of life baby, and he embodied the spirit of the late 60s and all of the 70s. He had a big red afro and matching full beard. He played football, lacrosse, and was a champion swimmer. He smoked a lot of pot, rescued a lot of animals, and loved a lot of women, and they loved him. He hunted, fished, and told the best stories. Every summer, he took us all outside just as it was getting dark and told us his personalized legend of meeting Bigfoot. He loved to ride. He loved the Allman Brothers. Ask any of his friends, they'll just start singing Midnight Rider as if it was some kind of hymn. And his older sisters doted on him. Ro was a tough authority figure, and my mother, Honey, well, she loved him like a son. But I was still a mess, and Aunt Ro had an ace tucked under the sleeve of her knockoff Mazzoni dress, the guilt trip. Rory, would you please stop crying? You didn't cry when Uncle Jimmy broke his hip. Remember when the undertow pulled him out in Hawaii? When we got home, you saw him in the traction, and you did not shed one tear. It's true, I didn't cry for her husband, my Uncle Jim. He was ankle deep when the wave came and knocked him on his ass, and he vanished. When they finally found him bobbing and weaving miles from shore, they airlifted him directly from the beach to the mainland. He kept trailing sand from Waikiki for months after a full recovery. The guilt trip worked. I pulled myself together, got to school on time, and gave a dynamite speech. Then I went to Lisa Trombino's graduation party where I sang every track off Billy Joel's Glass Houses album and even flirted with a 6th grader. I told him all about my cool uncle and his broken leg, said I'd be seeing him later. I'd read him my speech. I'd sign his plaster cast. But when I got home, the house was mobbed, which wasn't unusual except that it was a Tuesday. I ran to my mother, who told me the truth like always. I saw Aunt Ro and I just fell into her arms. I wasn't angry or resentful. I had forgotten all the lies and the guilt. I felt safe again, enveloped by her signature scent, a combination of jungle gardenia and Miss Breck hairspray. The truth was that she was the superhero all along. She was the avenger. She wielded love like a mace breaking through sorrow's armor, and she could hold time itself, always knowing the right moment to give it back to you, like a gift. Thanks.